Hello, viewers. It is Sunday, March 14th? No, March 15th, man, these days. About 3:08 right now. Just wanted to give an update. Right now, I think what everyone needs to be aware of is that there is a second really bad thing going on right now. It's not just the coronavirus. It is the global economy. We are headed towards a global depression. I've been saying this since the stocks first started tanking. There are issues with the stock market that were around before coronavirus, before the oil price wars, and now you have the coronavirus happening. And that is just the straw on the camel's back, and that is also being used as the scapegoat right now, so that the previous issues. It's funny. We had the recession in 2008, and nothing was really done from that. We just kind of continued the same failed policies, and that's what's leading us to where we're at right now. In terms of oil price wars, I'm learning more about that, so that's kind of one area I want to learn up on. But what I did see was Russia's come out. They've pretty much declared victory. Apparently, Russia's been stockpiling a lot of gold, and what they're doing right now is they are bringing down the price per barrel of oil. I think before this it was about 80 something. They're bringing it down to 30, and what that's doing, that's coupled with the fact that there is not much demand right now, because a lot of people aren't traveling, airlines aren't going. There's just been a lot of standstill in terms of travel. So you couple that with the low prices, that's putting a big strain on U.S. and Saudi Arabian oil companies, because they cannot produce oil at the cheap rate at which Russian companies can. So Russian companies, they can flood the markets with $30 a barrel oil, and they can survive that. But Saudi Arabian, American companies, they cannot. There was a financial advisor within the energy industry. I'll put a link to him in the video, but he was saying about last week that, or maybe like 5 days ago, he was saying that Saudi Arabia, if this price war continues, their government's going to collapse. And it was funny. Everyone in the comments, they're talking about how his shirt was fucked up because he was wearing a dress shirt, and I'm assuming a lot of these people haven't worn dress shirts. I used to wear a suit every day for work, and where I went to school, I had to wear a tie and everything. So, you wear a dress shirt, depending on, maybe you lost some weight, whatever. If you put your tie on, and you might have to straighten out the collar around your neck. His was kind of crumpled up, and a lot of people gave him shit for that. Every fucking comment was, "I'm not going to trust this guy with a fucked up collar." And I commented something, and just, this guy's trying to sound, he's been in his position with his company, and I looked him up, I found his LinkedIn. He's been in his position with his company for like at least 16 years. And, this guy's trying to give us the alarm, like, hey, Saudi Arabia's fucked. And everyone's fucking focusing on his shirt. Those are the same people that were fucking saying, oh, it's just the flu, bro. You need to get out of this fucking stupid mindset where you just dismiss everything. Now, I've had people are trying to explain what's going on with the coronavirus. I'm not too worried about that. I want to know what's going on right now. I want to know what's about to happen. I don't really care what's already happened, unless I can, change my actions from that. So, there's contact groups I'm in, people all over the state of Ohio, my neighbors, people in my community, and someone was saying that this is tied to the rollout of 5G, and I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. But, there's people that are just dismissing it out of hand, and I'm not concerned about necessarily where the root cause of this is from, whether it's a bioweapons lab or a food market or if it's FG rollout or whatever the fuck it is. Right now I know there's a present danger, and we need to confront this present danger. There's two present dangers, the economy and coronavirus. We need to confront these present dangers, and once we survive that, and then we can figure out where they came from and do something about that. But I brought that up because people were then dismissing it, and what we need to do, because it sounds crazy or whatever. Well, where we're at right now sounds crazy. It's to say that all of Europe is under quarantine sounds crazy, or at least it would have a week ago. So don't be so quick. And I think it's very important that, as we gather our information, we verify what we can. We verify what is true, what is false. And then, we have to make our judgments on it. But the time of this, brushing shit us off just because it sounds a little cuckoo, I don't know. I think that's a dangerous game plan to be playing right now, because that's what we've been doing. That's what we did for the last month and a half. And look at where it's gotten us. And I'm a history major. I love history, but you can look at so many other instances throughout history where people have done this. And it has led to the collapses of civilizations, of countries, of empires. So to be so flippant in our disregard, that is something that will get you killed. Other than that, I have gotten reports of strange white vans, newer ones, popping up in places that could potentially be converted to hospitals at some point. What you need to be on the lookout for, and please, be on the lookout. Let me know if you see just weird things going on, like you see with these weird, in your neighborhood especially, if you see things that are new that weren't there before. I've been noticing, and I noticed this weeks back, because I drive like 30 miles to work, drive 30 miles back, and I would always see cops on the way there, multiple cops, usually like 3 or 4. And last 3-4 weeks, I started not seeing cops anymore on that route. I take different routes that would used to have cops too. Didn't see them anymore. In my own town, I'm not really seeing cops anymore. They're out there. There's a police officer that lives across the street from my neighbor, or my mom and dad, and he's been gone all the time. Every time I've been over there. I have a retired police officer that lives across the street from me. He has been in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out of his house. I don't know if he's prepping. I don't know if he's, they're calling police officers out of retirement to try to help with this. But there are definitely things going on right now. And one thing that's going to be really important, find out what your local sheriff's game plan is, because anything that is implemented in terms of quarantine, anything that's implemented in terms of checkpoints, in terms of drive-through testing, and that's really going to be implemented primarily through local sheriff's departments. I've been trying to find out what my sheriff here is doing, and she has not had a press conference. She has not put out a press statement. There has been nothing yet, and that is concerning. I drove by one of their government facilities, I guess pretty much like their main office here in the county, and usually the back lot you see a lot of sheriff cruisers, you see a lot of emergency management vehicles, trucks and stuff with the county. They are all gone. The only vehicles there are civilian vehicles of the people that work there. So they are setting up operations somewhere. I suspect where I'm at, they might be setting them up at the fairgrounds. It's a very large area. There are hangars and stuff there. It'd be a good place for them to set up a makeshift hospital or quarantine zone. But you be on the lookout for that, because in Washington, they bought a old Econo Lodge in Washington State. and they turn that into a quarantine center. They're going to be doing that a lot. They're going to be buying up hotels and stuff, especially with, no one's going to be traveling, no one's going to be needing to stay at hotels. Potentially they might convert some of these schools into quarantine hospital zones too, because no one's going to be going to school. Maybe churches. Just really any large area, large shelter. So especially watch out for any strange activity around these areas, and please report it to me. As I receive information, I will pass it on to all of you. Other than that, I have heard that there have been limits imposed by some banks on withdrawals, cash withdrawals. Someone I know in the state of Ohio, they cashed their paycheck at their bank, and the person next to them went to withdraw $4,000, and the teller told them that new bank policy that they cannot withdraw the money unless they are telling them what they are using it to purchase. So, I would say have some money in your bank account so you can do electronic bill pay on your mortgage and stuff. There's going to be a gap between we have any individual relief assistance for that. A lot of places, I know DP&L, Dayton Power and Light, they have said that they will not be shutting off anyone's utilities due to missed payments. I don't know about in my area. I'm not in Dayton, but they're nearby. I think you're going to be seeing a lot of that, but it's still going to be good because there's probably going to be a gap where you're still going to need some money to pay bills. You're going to want to do that electronically or through the phone, or assuming postal service isn't disrupted, you can do that the old-fashioned way that our parents and our great-grandparents and grandparents did, through the mail. But do you have stamps? I know a lot of people don't have stamps. As part of my prep, I did go out and I bought a roll of 100 stamps. So be safe when you're out there and about. Just look for things that are different. I went to my parents yesterday. I had dinner with them. Enjoy your time with your family members, especially if they are in the danger zone in terms of age or health conditions. There's a very good chance that they will not make it through this year. And really appreciate every moment that you can spend with them. That is what I've been doing, because it really looks like my whole immediate family, statistically, they are not likely to survive this. And I don't have any kids. If I don't survive this, my bloodline, it's done. And that's a realization I made yesterday. It was kind of a heavy one. So I don't want to be the evolutionary dead end for hundreds of thousands or millions of years of evolution of my family. So everyone, be safe as always, and please report in the comments any news, or you can send them to my email. That's in the About Me section or description or whatever on my channel. So please send me tips or any news updates, and I will investigate them as best as I can and report on what I find. Thank you. If I can turn the camera off.